Anyway, happy Strength Hammer episode 86, 85, 86.
I'm back.
Yep.
I'm back from my, my project of opening up my own channel. Apparently,
Yep. Going deep on that
it
here.
did not work out. The only viewer was my mom, and
hey, so, you know what?
No,
she watches this show too, and she still watched and liked. So she didn't stop this one because you weren't here. So she doing
subscribed as well. You know, she's a good person.
She did double duty. So if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe below. There we go. Neil, how the hell are you? It's good to have you back, and it's good to have the Taylor Swift concert picture hiding your wife's name, so it doesn't seem weird that you're borrowing her laptop for this recording.
And have been for the last couple, so I'm not sure why that's on there now. But I don't know how to get rid of it. So
was it on there last time? I thought you got it changed. Oh, we can hide it. We can hide it.
I don't know. It's all good.
You can just be boom. You're Amy now. Hey, Amy.
It's fine.
Make me readjust an image and lay it out perfectly. Yeah, OBS is easy. Just like you send me 1,000 pictures for hobby last moment. Like, oh, you can just add these in. Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I figured you could. Not 15 minutes.
You're making me try hard, and I don't want to try hard because what try hard means is eventually I buy a new PC, a nicer camera. I like my mic. My mic is fine. And at some point, I set up a studio, and I make you drive to me once a month, and we record like 4 podcasts in a row, so we can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
It does, but you're driving because I'll be down here in my basement.
Yeah. Well, it's Strength Hammer will have to, pay the cost of that PA Turnpike fee.
You know what? If I'm at the point where I don't have to pay my mortgage, which allows me to set up a whole studio in my basement, I will pay the $30 it takes for you to come in PA. I will do that.
Yeah, Patreon incoming. No.
Actually, honestly, I've thought about it. I have a few Patreons now because I want to be part of Discords to chat with people.
I've got a few Patreons myself. I've joined the club as well. I've Patreoned some things.
But personally, like, I've never wanted to do a Patreon from this stuff. Granted, that was way back when we weren't really trying hard. We're not really trying great right now, but I think we're putting in more effort than we used to. To the point where it's like, maybe we could. I don't know if there'd be people that'd be interested. So, if you're here in some way, shape, or form, whether it's you get me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube comments, whatever. If you're just like, hey, Chuck, if you had a Patreon and you had some exclusive stuff, maybe extra videos or something, I would sign up. And like I said, I'd probably make it like $3. I wouldn't do a ton, but let me know, because that would go to supplement, obviously, this stuff to be better. Not my basement. This is my basement, and it's staying this way because I do kind of like it. But regardless, I like my Western PA
basement as well. But all the fun stuff's over that way.
Yes, my whole basement is my fun stuff, plus the cat's litter box, plus storage for decorations for holidays. But anyway. Neil, I'm not gonna lie, and to the viewers, something special going on right now. So, and I'm not saying I'm gonna be distracted by it, but you guys know I like Street Fighter, right? Well, the Capcom Cup is happening right now, and we got
oh my god, he's got it right over there.
It's on my tablet right next to the PC. It's streaming. I have no sound on, obviously, because I'm not restreaming it, but there's like right now there's Mena RD. He's a good player. He's doing okay. So it's fun.
What needs to happen then? We need to have our entry music. This episode just needs to be Street Fighter 2. So some bangers.
I don't. If you know what. If I can, I don't know if that's gonna be kosher.
Just a little bop, oh yeah.
I mean, we're not monetized yet anyway, but actually we're surprisingly closer than we ever have been before. So I don't want to get strikes now. So I'll see, if even if it's copyrighted and we just can't claim it, like they allow us to use it, I'll put it in. But anyway.
Nice.
But regardless, Neil, let's start with the usual fitness chat.
Mm-hmm.
How was your fitness?
Things are going well right now. So got my bench out, got my dumbbells out, doing the dumbbell routine. Had my son down here doing some push-ups and some squats with me the other day.
Nice.
Which is fun. So my boy's gotten way away from that kind of stuff. He used to do a ton of it in karate. He doesn't do any of it anymore. He works with these playing Fortnite, and so I'm yeah.
Listen.
That being said, he's much more healthier as being a 10-year-old child than I am. So I just need some I need some inspiration, some company. So I made him come down to some push-ups.
The sooner you can teach him that you can do both, the better. Like I still play video games. Heck, we were just talking about Street Fighter. I play that obviously. I was playing Pokemon last evening because I wasn't ready to sorry everybody, this is a day late. I wasn't kind of in a mindset to record, so it's like, hey, can we push it back for the day? But you can do that and go destroy your legs in a leg workout like I did today.
Oh my God. It's the thing is because I really haven't worked out with weights and stuff. I'd say oh, I've been doing X or Y or whatever. Like I've been skiing.
You're moving, which is, yeah.
Right. I'm moving, right? That's great. But then I did a workout and then I went down my stairs. And it was baby deer legs the whole way down.
Oh yeah.
The first step, I thought I was going down. And I recovered very quickly once I figured out what it is, and then I knew what to expect. But oh my
See,
God,
you get used to the baby deer and after the heavy workout. It's the next day or the second day for me. Cause I'm a 2-dayer for my DOMs. When you're like you finish doing your business on the toilet, you try to stand up, and you're like, oh God. That's when it hits hard.
You should be lighter. You should be lighter after that. That should be easier.
The legs don't want to do it. That's good. I'm glad you're moving. Glad your son moving too.
Yeah, my wife just we got a gym membership as well.
That's right. You did post a picture in our chat.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Actually,
so she's trying to convince me to come out of the house and actually go to the gym instead of just doing stuff in my basement here, which
gotcha.
Sometimes is a little bit more fun.
That's always good, and I apologize, everybody. I think I had Neil's volume too low. I think I got that fixed now. So sorry if that first 6 minutes was rougher than usual.
No.
It wasn't your fault. It was my fault. You're good, Neil. But hey,
you enriched the program.
we got some breaking news before I get into my fitness. Dave Roke has just sent me 7 text messages. Heaven forbid he sends it in 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Because remember from the 4s, I'm painting his Wood Elf army.
Oh, yes, it's on its way. It's shipped.
It's in a box. This will be shipped out tomorrow or Monday, he said. Tomorrow being Saturday when this episode's released. Archers, some dancers, a couple proxies, tree lords, tons of dryads, which is great because I can paint dryads real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Winged Glade Lord, which is an Arch Revenant proxy. And his painted dragon... the dragon's already painted? What? Okay, anyway. Bases included, not attached. Okay, for the Dragon of Treeman. Still lots of building ahead of me. So, Dave Roke is getting ready for Old World. That is the update. I'm not bemoaning it. I'm not like, oh no, I have stuff to paint. Oh no, I have stuff to paint. I'm excited Dave's finally going to have a painted army. Maybe a second? I don't know. Any thoughts on Dave's painted army?
I hope it has the same colors. I think you were planning on using that were in your living cities, that orange and the various greens.
Actually, that was. Thank you. It was actually it was like a red.
Was it red?
Yeah, it was kind of washed out. It was a red for the symbol, but I guess it could be like sort of like a tomato soup red. So I could see the orange.
Here we go.
But I mean, you could get on your phone, FaceTime, driving over to his house right now and just slapping him. We could always do that as a podcast. That's a good idea. Just you
show up and just knock on his door, slap and run.
You FaceTiming, and we just chat Warhammer the whole podcast. And you go up, you slap him, and you just leave.
I'm not in Dave's weight class. He's got me by probably a good 40 pounds.
Yeah, you got to run, sprint.
Them sprinting days is over.
All right. Anyway, my legacy, my fitness, good. I had Solid. I was only getting to the gym 2 days. I worked out 3 days this week though. So the first day, Monday, I did sort of a whole upper without, with the exception of arms. So it was like a lot of push and pull, all upper focused. It's a great workout. Wednesday, I did an arm workout at home because Wednesdays have become busier at work, so I'm figuring out how to just do a workout at home. Then today, Friday, went up and had like absolutely destroyed my legs in a leg workout. Post like quads, hamstrings, calves, just the whole kit and caboodle. It was good.
Yeah.
Um,
I was doing some squats with the dumbbells right, and they're set to like 45 pounds, and I'm doing some squats. So what, a total of 90 pounds, right? And my son's like, "Whoa, Dad!" And I'm like, "This is not impressive, kid." I'm glad. I'm going to keep bringing you down here.
yeah,
This is great.
it's motivating. It's motivating. That's good. Oh boy. But
Mm.
hobby time. You ready to talk some hobby time?
Oh, please, let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna put up a little picture here. We're gonna start with you because you're first
Yeah.
on the saved images. Boom. There we go.
All right, what do we got first?
First up is your giant.
Oh, yes, yes. That's he is affectionately named Flava Flav,
Yeah.
based on that wheel hanging off of
Good
his
name. Good name.
off,
Yep.
off his chest right there. So yeah, pretty proud of this guy. Did him in a night, I want to
Yeah.
say. So I
What
could probably.
that blackish blue that looks like a contrast. What kind of contrast is that? Because like I always
It
like
is,
the way it looks.
it is not a contrast,
Oh,
actually.
really?
Whenever I want to use pants and I want blue pants,
Yeah.
it is close to contrast, but it is Drakenhof Nightshade over a white primer.
Really?
Yeah, it is, and it is amazing. And
Huh.
now there's some highlights and stuff, like some dry brush over
Right. Right.
top of it
Right.
and everything. But it's yeah, it's primarily Drakenhof Nightshade. You do that over a white primer, and you get like something that's a loose approximation of a jean color.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
I like it. I the last
Mhm,
time I've used Drakenhof for the past years has been like the eyes for my
mhm.
daughter Chicane, just to give him like that
Yeah.
shadow effect. But it's been a long time since I washed it, so that's kind of cool to know. Awesome.
The first time I did that, I was blown through about 60 zombies, and they all have various pants and
Hmm.
disarray, right? And so I needed different colors of pants, and so I threw the nightshade on there. I was like, oh, no, that's
That works.
actually looks pretty good. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah, so that's what I kept there. But largely, he was done with a lot of. He no, he was just pure white primer,
Okay.
and we did a lot of different washes. We did a lot of different contrasts on there. Some regular old painting techniques as well. You probably can't see it, but I actually tried to dot that guy's eyes.
No, I
I
can
don't
see.
dot eyes together.
You can.
Can you see it?
It's showing up. At least the one. The other one's kind of
Maybe,
harder because of the shadowing,
yeah,
but
it looks
it's
kind of
showing
crazy.
up.
I'm
Yeah,
sure it looks kind of crazy. I'm not very good. I'm not very. I'm terrible at it,
it's
to be
fun.
perfectly honest. But I'm trying. So it's a
Where's
new thing for me.
and
So
this clearly looks like a 3D print.
yes, that's a
So
3D
where's
print.
the 3D print from, if you remember?
Well, the 3D print is no longer available since the
Okay.
guy who was making it is shut down.
Okay.
So,
Never mind. You can put comments in the below how much you're willing to pay
yeah.
Neil for this print, and maybe he'll print and send it to you.
So,
That's between you and
uh-huh.
him. All right, we'll move on
Yep,
next
yep,
to
yep.
the
Mhm.
little wow. Okay, sometimes you try to say two words and your brain
Mhm.
just combines them, and sometimes it's cute, and
Mhm.
sometimes it's fun, and other times it's just a mess. I was trying to combine goblins and squigs in the same word, and that's impossible.
Scob,
No, no,
Scob.
no, no. We're not scatmanning it. So anyway, we got your
Yeah,
squigs up.
Skeep, blah, blah, blah.
Squig. Tell us about the next one. These little squigs.
So it's the little squigs. This is little
No,
squig,
it's the two.
or the two big
So your
squigs.
mangler, is that a mangler?
These are my manglers.
Okay.
Yep. So another 3D print, like everything. This army is a pure 3D print army.
Hmm.
Again, it's all from the same person that was out there. And so yeah, I really like these models. I especially like the bottom squig here. He's got like some spears jutting out of an eye. I did paint the eye on this one too.
Yep.
I might go back over top of this and actually put some ard coat over top of his eye so it's a little more glossy.
Yeah, you could
And
put it in the mouth too. Honestly.
and I'm probably gonna put
Yeah.
it in the mouth
Hmm.
as well. Yeah, I did not do those as you'll see on the other the squig herd as well.
It's not as
Although I'll
prevalent.
probably
You could,
yeah,
but it's more prevalent on these guys.
when you got 30 guys, it kind of gets lost in translation a little bit. And
Yep.
so from painting old world in the past or Warhammer Fantasy in the past, you kind of learn that the rank and file outside of that front rank, sometimes you just gotta you gotta let it
Move
go,
on.
man.
Yep. That's
Just
fair.
move on. So, but God bless anybody who does just full work on a unit of, whatever, 40, 50, whatever amount of guys. I think it looks great when they do. So,
Hmm.
but that's definitely a little
That's why Neil
shortcut.
puts up with me on the table when I bring bullshit because I'll paint 60 witch elves to the full
Yes.
standard.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
All right.
So yeah, so that the mango squigs look great. Love the guy who's flying through the air on that model
Yeah.
and everything.
Yep. He's cool.
You see the other one kind of hiding in the background with a little stabby spear.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I just like the character in an Orcs and Goblins army, whether you got the GW ones or whether you got whatever.
Squigs are
It's always
squigs.
fun. It's always fun.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of the 30, we'll move on to the
Mhm.
next image, which is the same Mangler squig,
Mhm.
I assume, and a hero I have not seen, or we haven't shown here.
Oh,
I haven't seen that hero
oh,
yet.
there is same Mangler squig. Did I send you two Mangler squig pictures? I can't remember what the
Well,
hell I sent you then.
no, the image with the 30 squigs, or
Oh.
also has a Mangler squig and a hero on a squig.
Oh yeah, there is a hero over there. I did him a little while back.
Oh, okay,
I think
gotcha.
I
He's old.
talked about him. But, yep. But so we're just talking about I think there's 20. Let's see. It's 6x4, maybe 24
Oh,
in
that's right. It is
there.
6 wide, 6x4. There we go.
Yeah, I think there's 24 in there plus four. So you need one handler for every five squigs. So I figure if I put 24 in, then all I need is four handlers. Now I keep looking through, like if you lose all the handlers, does something happen to the squigs? And I keep looking through the rules, and I don't see anything like that. So I just know you need a certain amount per squig.
Can you
So
even
and
lose
they
the
have to go on the
handlers?
back.
Can you lose the handlers for any reason, shape, or form? Like, isn't it just all taken on the squigs?
They're all in the back row. So I would assume that you take from the back row first, right?
No, you take from the front because it's no step up. So front row dies first.
Well, that's I mean the shooting and things like that.
No, it's.
You always take from the front. Okay. All right. So I
I
guess
believe so. Yeah, you take from the front.
okay. All right.
It'd be interesting if I'm not sure what would happen if you got charged in the rear and the front because your fighting
Uh-huh.
rank is whatever you're touching. So that would be interesting. But I bet you probably
Okay.
just take everything on the squigs first.
Okay. That makes more sense if you're taking from the front.
Yeah,
So
now with
absolutely.
exception.
That also makes more sense aesthetically as well. So you're not
Yeah,
just like a bunch of squigs hopping out there. So
yeah. Now
yeah, I love that.
maybe if
So,
there was templates or something that could screw
mhm.
things up, but we'll look at that when we approach it, and it'll happen game one of our
Sure.
little event coming up here at the end of March, and we'll be like, "Fuck! Now we got to figure this out."
Yeah. So
Well, anyway,
roll a dice.
great,
Yeah. So those are done pretty much the same way as the big old squigs. Just
gotcha. And then the pictures in the goblins in the back, is that the rest of the army to be painted for 2K?
There's a lot more crap in the back. There's crap off to the side. There's crap
Okay,
everywhere.
okay,
So,
gotcha. No worries.
that's the rest of all the junk. Yes, there's plenty to do.
No problem.
So
Trying to keep context here for myself. Know with a face when you bring it. So
mhm.
you have another picture here, some vampires, and I don't think this is for you, is it?
This is not for me. These
But you
are
painted it.
John DeCours's, and so this is one of those commissions I've been talking about for like the last I don't know freaking 3 months that we've been doing hobby time.
Uh
Like
huh.
oh, and I also after this, well, I finished it at least one of them anyway. So then I've got another
All
vampire and I've got some blood knights to do as well. But proof that they are in fact done and they will be on their way to John this Sunday when I get to play my very first game of the old world.
That is
So
fantastic. And John, if you watch this before Neil gives them to you, um, leave a comment below. I don't
mhm.
know. I'm just trying to milk comments. All right. Anyway, my turn.
Go ahead.
So, hobby time. So I had picked up at the local club the Underworld's Warband, for the Chosen Axis for
Mhm.
Fire Slayers. Someone in my local club. He was collecting Fire Slayers for a while. He was like, he essentially was just buying a couple of start collecting and stuff he got deals on. And then he kind of fell out of love with the army, which that's fine. It happens. You know, you can't fault the guy. Um, so he was looking to sell it pretty much for what he built it all. He was looking to sell it just what he paid for it. Now I did not jump for it because I have a Fire Slayers army right here. No,
Mhm.
here. That's KO. That's Fire Slayers. But I looked inside, and Brad, one of the club members, he was like gonna pick up because he didn't have fire slayers, and he's like, it looks fun. It's just naked dwarves. You run forward. Like he wanted just a casual army like that, just something he can just like. And it was, and I was like, let me look through it. It was like 1940, 1950. It's probably cheaper now because of the battle scroll. But he's like, yeah, I'll buy it. And I said, hey, there's 2 copies of the Chosen Axes in here. You can't do that. And I said, hey, I'll buy the second copy of the Chosen Axes, the unpainted version. And like Brad was okay with it, and Dan, the guy selling it, he's like $10. I'm like, okay. So $10, paint him up. I didn't need him, but I was like, sure, it's a side project, and paint him up over the course of a couple days, just casually, and put him inside this box where they won't see the light of day for a long time because I don't really play the army that much. But still, it was fun. It is fun being able to still paint a style for an army that I have just drop of a hat because like I do so much, so it felt good. But anyway, that was exciting. Next up, if you watched the video recently where I pronounced the word core wrong for the command core over and over again, I will do it again. I finished my Cities of Sigmar Living City army. You can check out that whole video to see a lot more of it, but I'm thrilled with how it turned out. Loved it. Surprisingly, I've gotten more games of Age of Sigmar in recently than the Old World because of the campaign. Just fine. Doesn't bother me. I also got some Kill Team in too, but
I've got a AOS game coming up on Wednesday.
Yep. I love it. As long as we keep battle tactics out, I'm enjoying Sigmar. But I am Jones in the place in Daughters of Cain so bad.
No, now with the new points, huh?
Honestly, just in general, like I do love this. I love the look of this city, but like this army, but Cities of Sigmar is not my playstyle. So I want to bring out my playstyle, and it's just like this. Now I'm committed. I'm enjoying this for the campaign. I'm enjoying the Crusade or Path of Glory and growing it. But like, man, I just want to be like, hey, who wants to play an Age of Sigmar game? And I just bring my Daughters of Cain. I just run forward, have fun. I miss it. I want to do it. But anyway. I also, this is a little harder to see, but a long time, a little bit ago, I was gifted a nice 3D print by Amy LaRocca here on screen, Neil, as he's also known. He got the STL for the tech list from the cover of whatever the last thing was, Broken Realms, where he's all in his glory, and he gave it to me. It was like size that you could put it in even like a Old World army or just like as a foot hero. And I kept trying to decide what to do with it, paint it nicely, and to be fair, anytime I touched it, something fucking broke on it because it was resin and it's a very fine print.
Yeah, it's meant to be much larger than that. So
right. If it was larger, that'd be really cool to try and paint it up, be like a competition thing. But I decided because of the state of touching it and breaking it, I said, what if I put it on the base of my little Lumineth Realm Lord scenery piece between the waterfalls? It fit perfectly. A little bit of super glue, painted it up. It's great. Nice addition because I have a lot little conversions in here. I've actually the War Master figures from long ago, the little tiny old Warhammer. I have that all over the army, like his little like statues and stuff laying around. So that's on there too. So he actually fits in really nicely with them. So that was fun to add him to that. It was a quick little thing, but some fun little hobby. And as you just saw, because I clicked too quickly, that brings us to the end of hobby time mostly. Real quick, you're gonna see some weird stuff here. We're gonna hide this because I want to show off 2 things real quick. What I'm working on right now, because Neil, I think you're still working on your goblins, right?
Actually, if we're back on the main screen,
we are.
There is.
There we go. Look at that.
Look at all those bad boys. All right. So that's 21 cloaks I've painted last night. So I had another 21 to go.
There you go. I'm on sort of a side project kick right now, which is pretty common for me. I paint an army, then I want to do small stuff like the Fire Slayers. On my hobby desk right now is these Knights of Rivendell. Kind of hard to see on here because this is not a good camera for it, but very simple. Some Middle Earth. I literally bought them because I play this game semi-regularly. I realized I didn't have the books for the rules, so let me buy the books. Oh, you know what? I have almost everything for Rivendell anyway, except for these knights. Let me buy them and paint them up for fun. So they'll be done in a couple days. And I'm not sure if this is next. Because to my left is my High Elf army for Old World. And then to my bottom left is my Napoleonics army, which is not going to happen until summer. And both of this,
I knew you were going to say Napoleonics.
yeah. Well, and
That's
also I have I have some of the Tomb King's Old World starter box left. There's a new person joining our club, and she fell in love with Tomb Kings, which is like, okay, that's great. So she picked up the Old World starter set. And I already have a Tomb King's army, so I didn't need everything inside this box, but I needed some of it, like the new dragon, some extra archers, some spearmen. So I gave half to her, so like she can just have it, have fun with it. It helps her a lot more, especially since I get half off anyway. Like I'm like I paid for half of it, I kept half of it, but I have that to paint as well, and then I have the Bretonnians starter set to paint in full. So I have fairly big projects ahead of me. But I have one more side project for now in front of me. That's until they release the Crithessa, the new Daughters of Cain hero. I'll pick up that box instantly. That's an instant buy. And she'll go top of queue. But right now, I have Black Talents. And I love the show. And I originally bought this. I was like, oh, I'm going to try and paint it up really nice. But I'm like, no, I'm not good at painting armor nice. Like it's gold. It's gold. I'll paint it to like a decent standard. Then I thought for a while, maybe I'll just keep it as a collector's piece because it's part of the show and it has like the logo of the show on it. But there's also part of me that says like, no, just it's a toy. You should paint it. So I'm probably gonna paint it, and just have it as be an ally for my Daughters of Cain, just for fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. This might be next, or the High Elf army might be next. I'm unsure. And granted, this was my thought process all before I realized Dave was sending me his Wood Elves right now. So
yeah, I think you might have to push those Black Talents to the side and start to bang out them High Elves, buddy.
we'll see. So the reason High Elves, for everybody listening, the reason High Elves are kind of high importance right now, is strictly because at the end of this month, usually we would do a thing called Adepta Won't, which means we won't be going to Adepticon, so we play. Ohio usually hosted it. Good friend Mark, who helps us host the Terathi Invitational, decided to do his own thing. So it's going to be a gaming weekend for Old World. While painting's not required, it's highly encouraged. In fact, there's an award called Most Ohioan for most amount of unpainted models.
Oh my god, it's the most hillbilly thing I ever heard in my entire life.
Sure is. But it has driven more people to paint harder than when the rubric said you have to be painted, which is hilarious to me. So I don't want to let Dave down. I don't want him to get that award by default. So I'm going to put in my effort for it. But also, I have a backup that if I don't bring this army that's on the new bases, I could bring my old High Elf army on the conversion trays, be fully painted, and just avoid that. So we will see. I'm not sure.
I mean, I feel like it's a cop out, but that's fine.
It is. So we will see what happens, because I feel like it's cop out as well, and I want to bring this. So I'm kind of like, how many models do I need to paint to be more painted than the least painted person there?
After all that narrative and everything else you're trying to spin on this show, and then you're going to go grab your old High Elf army.
See, here's what I could do.
Label me disappointed.
I could, and this would be great. I could paint, say, 1,500 points of these High Elves, so I'd be down a little bit. Sure, that's fine. As long as I ensure I see Dave's list and I paint 1,499 of his. But we'll see. Because also High Elves do paint fairly quickly, the list I'm planning on bringing, so I don't see it being too hard to push, but yeah. Anyway, Black Talons might be next. I don't know. We'll see. It depends. If I get these guys done tomorrow for some fucking reason, and I can do these guys Sunday, maybe. Also, I'm going to the Arnold next week, which is the
nice. You're going down to Columbus?
Me and Alex are going to Columbus. Alex Fithammer. Nice. So that's going to be 4 days where I won't get to paint unless I take stuff. Because it's weird. This is the first Sorry, this is a tangent for everybody, but Strength Hammer. If you're here, you know what's up. Um, and he brought up this is the first non-Warhammer event him and I have been to together. And to be
Yeah.
fair, this is the first convention I've been to that's not been Warhammer since I went to anime conventions in college.
Wow.
So obviously we don't know anybody, so like we're not going to be like, hey, let's go grab dinner this night with our friends and do this, like kind of like what you and I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be we go to the thing, we watch the strongest men competition, we watch some bodybuilding, we walk around, see the stuff, and then we leave. Like we're planning on bringing armies to play games in the evening. I'll probably message Vince because he's out that way and be like, hey, do you want to, or and Stephen Mod, I'll be like, do you guys want to play a game or something? Like we'll figure that out. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could take stuff to paint, huh?
You certainly could. I mean, you're not going to end up doing it though, so why bother?
I
Yeah,
might.
you're gonna be too busy. You're gonna be too busy. I wouldn't do that. You're down there with Alex. Yeah, no, you're gonna find your way into a game. Potentially, you're down there. When is this? Which weekend?
It'd be next weekend, so that'll be the 29th, 30th.
I don't know
No,
if the
no, no,
Columbus
29th,
crew are in
first, second,
town or
third.
not, but man, you could go look up some tickets for the Columbus crew. Get yourselves down to some soccer ball. Potentially
We'll see. Okay. Anyway.
next weekend. You did that. I might come down to Columbus.
Ooh. You want to come to the Arnold with us? We got a hotel room.
They don't need some fat old guy walking around the Arnold acting like he's supposed to be there.
Anyway. All right, tell you what, I'm gonna take Blacktown. I'm gonna put it over in the pile with the Napoleonics and the Old World starter boxes. All right, ready? Can you hear it?
Mhm.
Did you hear it? It's on the pile.
There it is. All right.
I won't worry about them. All right. That's the longest. Hobby
Let's get
time
through it,
takes a lot longer when we show pictures. I like that. We will try and do it more. I hope you can send me pictures earlier than 10 minutes before we start.
If you like hobby time pictures instead of just us talking about the things we're doing, let us know in the comments. In
Actually,
fact,
that's very true.
maybe even like and subscribe while you're at it.
Share with your friends.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna. There's one more quick piece of news we're gonna bring up here as we venture outside of seeing our lovely faces here. So, boom, boom. So I'm not sure if you saw this yet, Neil. Um, over on Wohammer. Actually, a fine website with great people. I'm not bemoaning Wohammer as a group. I'm great, but I saw this pop up on the Warhammer: The Old World feed. Wohammer decided to do win-loss stats, much like MetaWatch for Age of Sigmar and 40k.
Sure.
For
I did
Old
see
World
this,
so
yeah.
far, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm going to give my hot opinion on this in a second. But Neil, give me your opinion to start. Because also, here's the
Well,
thing. You and I personally, like everyone knows the type of gamers we are. We don't really care. We're going to play what we play. It's fine. But looking
yeah.
at this from people who... We're looking at this like there's a community growing. We want to make sure it's healthy. We want to make sure it's happy. We do our best to help
Mhm.
grow it. That's the mindset we're coming from. So, Neil, what's your viewpoint on this lovely image up on screen?
I took a look at it. I thought I saw some pretty shocking results. I think, but I mean, the problem is it's such a small sample size of games. I don't know. I did not see where the data was taken from, whether it was taken from like GTS or, you know,
Mhm.
I really can't tell. But I mean, I had my army at the very bottom, which is orcs and goblins. So, uh, yeah, it was a little disappointing to see that, but at the same time, I think a lot of people are just getting their minds wrapped around this game. If you are one of those Warhammer savants who can take a look at rules and immediately know what to do and what's going to make the best thing, I think that's going to skew results real fast.
um,
I think if you are bad at this game, it'll skew results the other way just as easily. So
here's
I
the
don't know
thing.
if we can take too much too soon. Yeah.
Here's the thing. All the savants don't know either, and they're pretty open about that. Like we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the thing. I am happy to see that someone said I will try this because it's fun to see this sort of stuff on occasion.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
my cup of tea, but it'll be out there. I'm sure Square Base GT Val and Rob over there will probably handle this because Rob's really good at it. That's fine. Warhammer guys, you keep up doing the good work, but this is completely fucking useless. This is trash. We don't know what style games, how long these games are. We don't even have a structured format yet. It's way too early. My gaming club alone has more games than everything listed on here.
Right.
So if you've seen this, rightfully throw it away. It is useless in this current time. Will it be useful in the future? Yes. Is it useful
Mm-hmm.
right now? No. Don't make a single decision off of any of this. Don't make a single decision off of what anybody says about anything in Old World other than you.
Mm-hmm.
Get what you like, have fun. That's it. This
Yeah.
is just a little bit of PSA. And this is not against Warhammer. Don't go attack Warhammer. That's fine. They're like they decided to do this because they're like, no one's done it yet. Let's put something out there. Sure, that's fine. Too soon. It's like that first Fast and the Furious when things were sane and normal.
Yeah.
That first race, he pushed a button. No, too soon. Calm down. This
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna play this first game. We have lists we're about to show.
Yeah, main
Right?
topic of tonight is lists
Yeah.
that Neil and I are looking at.
And so I'm gonna come right out here and say, I have no idea if it's a decent list. It may be the worst pile of donkey shit you ever saw in your entire life. I have no idea because I haven't played a game yet. So this is me just kind of putting something together that looks to me like it might be cool, might be fun. I don't know.
See,
So,
and me, I everything I brought in my lists, I really enjoy, and I look at them. I'm like, yeah, those are solid within the scope of what the rule set is. And I've only won one game because I don't know how to play it right yet. I'm learning that structure. I'm learning, so it's so early. So yeah. Anyway, Neil, you ready to get
yeah,
into these lists that we have here?
let's do it. Let's show it.
Boom. Okay, we're gonna start with your orcs and goblins 1K list to start here.
Okay. Yeah. I need a little PSA before we do this. Okay.
All right,
Chuck
PSA.
made me put together
Yep.
1,000-point list. Okay. I will never play this list. I will never play 1,000 points. I am so against 1,000-point games. You will never see me personally ever with a gun to my head play 1,000-point game of Warhammer Fantasy or Old World or whatever the hell you want to call it. Not going to happen. But because I was made to do it, we'll go through this list.
That's right. And I will say this at this point. Me and my local group were doing 1,000-point games to just hammer home the rules of the game over and over and over again. If that is your goal, 1,000 points is great. You get in, you get out. You get in, you get out. You find some weird stuff, you do that. I am so sick of 1,000-point games personally. So I'm not disagreeing with you, Neil, but I'm saying if you're trying to really hammer home and get good at the rule set, 1,000-point games is enough. And it's quick enough, but it's in depth enough to get you where you need to go.
Yeah.
Hammer out like 5 to 10 of those and then bump up to 1,500, 2,000.
I'm actually seeing a problem with this list already that I just noticed is
That's
wrong.
fine. We'll walk through. Hey,
We'll walk through it. So we'll change up something in this list
so
actually.
we'll go top down just because it's easier for me. Let's start with the characters,
Yeah.
Neil.
Generally speaking, I like the night goblins
Yep.
and orcs and goblins. So I always try and smash as many night goblins into a list as I possibly can. So we start out with a night goblin war boss. We've also got a night goblin big boss, and we've got a night goblin odd knob, which is a level 4 wizard.
Nice.
Okay.
So one level 4 wizard. Is one of these a BSB, I assume? Yep.
Yeah, one of them is the big boss is the BSB. You'll notice so some of the special items I've got on him. We've got the big red raggedy flag, which gives you +1 combat resolution on it, and also increases everything in the unit's weapon skill by 1.
That weapon skill is solid for goblins.
For goblins, when you go from 2 to a 3, it doesn't
great.
sound like much,
especially when you cast Itchy Nuisance.
It's needed, and that's what the wizard is for there as well. So night goblin's always going to have Itchy Nuisance. Period. End of story.
So
if you get Evil Sun Shining, that's another nice one. Nice buff piece right there. The Goblin War Boss is just on.
What's
he's got a. So that's the general. He's got a great weapon. He's got Wallapa's one hit wonder and Trollhide Trousers. So that gives him the +5 regen save.
Right. Plus a nice little first round of combat, big weapon. Hopefully they don't just fall back in good order. They or not get or give ground. Hopefully they don't just give ground because they fall back in good order. You can choose a new combat. So otherwise, yeah.
So the plan on this list is all 3 of these characters go into a single Night Goblin unit with Netters and Fanatics coming out of this thing. So at now the base unit itself is going to have a magic standard that is the War Banner for static combat res. another +1. So we're +2 already. Actually, we're +4 in a standard, with the War Banner,
Okay.
Battle Standard, and the Big Red Raggedy Flag.
It's good. That's
So
good.
you're at 4 already, okay, before you even swing a spear,
There you
okay?
go.
So we have the spears. Now, spears will give you +1 initiative if you get charged, which is also nice.
Right.
It also gives you that fight in the 2 ranks there, so you don't have to worry too much about getting your front rank leveled.
Hey,
But we are still talking about goblins attacking.
I will say this, Neil. And a lot of people have been looking at this. So this isn't just me figuring this out, but
Mhm.
that Night Goblin. Look at running him next to the unit, but look at
Instead,
not in the unit. Unless he has spells that he needs to cast on a unit he's in.
yeah,
Think about running him separate,
gotcha.
which would explain my one future choice here of a mage on horse that will probably be alone
Gotcha.
or with a
Yeah,
skirmish
so
unit. Anyway,
that's probably what I will do instead. I still have to read the rules on how all that stuff works.
it comes down to the spells you
So,
have. Look at the spells you have first.
yeah.
But
So
anyway,
that may
core.
happen. So you might move a couple of those out there, but Wallop is one hit wonder if you choose to use that little item there. So let's say they get charged, right?
Mhm.
So you throw your nets. They're now -1 strength because they've been netted. Hopefully you don't roll the 1. I'll roll the 1.
You'll roll the one.
And I will net myself. However, on the rare occasion where that does not happen, hopefully that unit's been hit by some fanatics on the way in, perhaps, and then maybe we got off Itchy Nuisance, and so maybe they're a little bit nerfed from that. Then they jump into my unit expecting to go first, and whatever you have that's about to beat the shit out of my little night goblins, we do the one hit wonder, which comes in at initiative 10,
Yep.
right out there.
Once per
And what
game,
we're
you have to
hoping,
use it first round.
yep. And so it is whap whap whap, and hopefully we take out a bunch of guys from the front rank before they even get a chance to attack. So
Or you go into a challenge and crush a vital hero.
yeah, well, I think it's a 3 or 4 attack goblin. So I don't know that we're crushing anything, but still got to roll the dice. But
Yep.
I mean, it's a pretty significant AP and everything. I think it's -3. I have to go back and check.
It's a solid weapon, but it's on
Yeah,
goblins, so it's like it has got to hit.
right. And
Yeah.
so it's like if you want to come in there, plus it's going to be on for 1,000 points. I think I got something like 23 goblins or something like that running around. 22 goblins. So it's going to be it's a horde unit. So you're looking at an additional +1 for your static combat res, close order, an additional +1. You're going to get it's a war band, so you're getting +3 instead of +2 from your ranks.
Yep.
So again, static res, static res, static
Yeah.
res, because these are goblins, and I need the points, baby. So,
Yeah, and you are not bringing any Black Orc war bosses or anything to stop that sort of stuff.
now night goblins do not have.
Oh, they don't have impetuous. Okay, so you don't need.
I do not need that. Now they also, because they are warband, they can use for leadership tests their rank bonus. So
okay.
that increases their leadership quite a bit. And if the big boss is in there anyway, so we should be able to save, and that it should be a fairly difficult unit at 1,000 points to shift is the hope.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
it's gonna be there. So you might take a couple charges to get rid of it.
Right. Well, walk us through the core then. Like, what are these boys sitting in?
That's the core. So core is the night goblin mob.
22.
We kind of talked
22
about those
night
guys
goblins,
already,
yeah.
right? Then we got a little night goblin squig herd. Very like the very minimum unit of that. Now that unit is there to hopefully be ignored and just run up and hit some pretty beefy strength 5 attacks.
Do they have random movement, or can you kind of keep these guys in control a little bit?
No, you can keep those guys in control. They are a 4-inch move base, I believe. Yep, 4-inch move. And
so you want to let your night goblins take the charge, hope they survive,
and then they're going to be a little piece
close
that's
the
going
gate,
to come in,
and then you beat them round 2. Okay, that's fair. I got it.
So,
I like it.
Yeah, because cave squigs have 2 attacks a piece, so they just a unit of 5 of them is going to throw 10 attacks out there, unless there's a couple dead ahead of time. Now, if you kill it too and it runs away or whatever, it explodes. So you roll D3.
Oh yeah.
And then so that just auto hits. Well, you just go right around anything. I think it's 6 inches or something like that. I have to go check the rule, but it explodes, and squigs go flying every which way. It hits me, it potentially hits you, potentially. If I lose some goblins to it, I'm not that worried. If you lose some elves, you're probably more worried.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
And to be
right.
fair though, this is a more better written version of what happens to squigs when they explode in Sigmar.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yes, it is actually. So that's basically the core there. Special units, we got just goblin bolt throwers. So they're
Oh my
sitting out on the
gosh.
flank,
I
just
I
trying to fire and clear out horses in a thousand
I
point game.
I love bolt throwers in this game
Mhm,
now. Just because they no longer have to kill to go through ranks. They go through all the
yeah.
ranks. They just
Mhm.
lose the strength. And
Well,
I am
let me read you off the points for this goblin bolt
yeah,
thrower.
at 45, it's showing right
45.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
two
Uh,
for the price of my one, but it costs you 10 extra
yeah.
points.
And
Um,
the odds of actually one of them hitting is maybe 50%. So
sure, yeah, I can
maybe.
hit better.
Yeah. So,
And
so
I,
you need to, for
right, and
sure.
I can do the different shots and all that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
I like them,
Yeah.
and
But
you don't have the
if you roll
ramshackle
high,
rule. You don't have the ramshackle rule, so you don't have to just explode because you decide to shoot them.
yeah.
So
They are very low leadership. So if they take a couple wounds or something like that, you know,
that's fine.
watch out. Watch
I'm a fan of them. I only have one bolt thrower in my current army, and I'm like that might have been a mistake, but I'm kind of stuck
Mhm.
because I don't want to buy another one right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a couple
So
mag. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. So now here's where I went wrong in the list because in
Oh,
my
okay.
2,000 point list, I always include Mangler Squigs, but I believe you can only have one per 1,000.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that was a whoopsie do, and they didn't stop me on. I wish
Yeah,
Old
old
World
world
Gold
builder.
stopped you.
It's
It'll let.
it's still in progress. So don't be upset about it. It's gonna happen. I realized too, like I was building lists and letting my handmaiden of the Everqueen be the general, and she can't because she's not the highest leadership in my list.
Yeah.
So things like that's just us knowing the rules. It's not on them
Mhm.
developing something better. They probably will eventually, but so
Yeah.
that said, you have 95 points left. Where would
So
you put it?
95 points. Well, what I could do is just instead throw in if I find a little 10 points somewhere, probably pop out the fungus wine. So I did have fungus wine on
Mhm.
the battle standard. That gives the unit immune to psychology.
Okay.
So what's a once per game thing? It's 10 points. So I pull that off, and I probably throw in a Doom Diver just for fun
Oh, there you go.
instead. So, yeah.
That works. I like Doom
Mhm.
Divers. I think they're pretty solid bolt thrower or stone throwers right now.
Right, right. They can adjust, and you need them.
Yes.
You need them to adjust.
All right. So next up is my high elf 1,000 point army, which is very similar to what I've been running for test games. So started out with an archmage, just level 3, no upgrades. Did give him the uh, Pure of Heart, so that's Elven have honor, so it allows you to go in certain units or extra bonuses. So Pure of Heart allows you to use his leadership unmodified at a different rate, like as a unit's nearby, so not just in the unit he's in. He had the
Nice.
Earthing Rod, just in case of a dispel or a miscast, because one wizard, he's pretty vital to my army, so I didn't want to lose him too much. Um, that's it. After that, Noble, um, heavy armor, shield, bow of Avalorn, battle center bearer. Bow of Avalorn because like that kind of leans into my theme of I bring the Sisters of Avalorn, and it's Teyrathi, so it
Mhm.
kind of just fits that she would have a bow of Avalorn. I always give because I told you I said this in a show a while ago. I'm not sure if it was this or the fireside chats with John, but the Banner of Illyrian. It's probably not the greatest banner in the high elf list or just in general.
Mhm.
But my army's from Illyrian. I've always loved the Illyrian riders. That's always where my
Mhm.
theme has been. So this is my new Kraith, which means I'll always be bringing this somewhere in an army, whether it's
Mhm.
worth it or not.
It's
I
fun.
don't hate it. Actually, let me just pull book out just so it's about it helps with movement and such, which it's not terrible. Um, but compared to other things, it's like it's people might be like, it's kind of a waste of points. It's like, yeah, it might be, but it's what I'm gonna do. Um, so Banner of Avalor or Valyrian, unit carrying this banner gains the move through cover special rule.
Well, and
Not bad.
do you have to if you're moving through cover, do you still have to take like dangerous terrain and all that?
I don't believe so.
See, that's huge actually, because
I yeah, it's either I think it's either take dangerous terrain, or maybe I don't take the movement minuses. I forget which one that means.
now a question.
We'll do it live because this is the most important thing in the life to me is this stupid
It's
banner.
probably an easy question to answer, but like when you go through a template, like a magic template, that's considered like you take like a dangerous. You probably still take those wounds, right? You know, that's not
I
like
believe you would because
yeah,
it's dangerous, not terrain.
yeah.
Here, hold on, I'm gonna get there.
It's just like
We're gonna get
yeah.
moved through cover. We're gonna clarify this in my head too.
Mhm.
Models with this special rule do not suffer any modifiers to their movement characteristics for moving through difficult or dangerous terrain. In addition, a model with this special rule may reroll any ones when taking dangerous terrain tests. So I would be able to take it
Oh,
through the template. Listen,
wow. See, that's actually really good because if
it's
there's somebody throwing a lot of templates out there and you happen to have to like flee through one or something like that, that's a nice
or
little bonus to have.
or charge to one. It's like I said,
Yeah.
it's my Kraith, so I was ready to accept it no matter what. But yeah, I will find a way to use it because
That's not
usually
terrible.
it's
How
not
many points?
25. It's not awful.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, that's Terathi. Terathi's always my standard bearer. She's right here because I have my army right next to me. She's painted because I painted her for older stuff. Um, although I might slightly adjust the paint scheme. I don't know. Anyway, core 15 Sea Guard because spears and bows are great, especially now that they can just naturally stand and shoot and reform.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. And if I can get them on a
Yep.
hill, oh fucking don't charge them. You're fucked. um. I gave Therathi my no one with BSB. I usually give her Sea Guard to go with the Sea Guards, or I'll give her um, Warden of Safari so she can go with the Sword Masters. It kind of waffles between that. Anyway, core 15 Sea Guard. The Sea Guard also have the Flaming Banner or Banner Burning, whatever it's called, Blazing Banner. Just because it never hurts to have flaming attacks. It's magical.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. And there's someone in my local group that brings the Green Knight who can only be affected by magical attacks, so I fucking need it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
five Illyrian Reavers, I always run them as skirmish. And
Question
I
on the Green Knight, real quick.
yeah,
Now it's still combat that he goes in. So even if you can't kill him, you can still win by static combat res, right?
yes, because he's also unstable,
Okay.
but he's a
So if he
beast.
rolls over his leadership, he's out of there. Is that the deal?
Well, oh no, he just crumbles. It might move
He's
back and move
crumbled.
back.
Okay.
But he's a beast, so it's hard to beat him. Plus, he chooses where he comes in. It's gonna be in the flank most likely because he's
Oh,
skirmish.
jeez.
He's not a
Oof.
he's not a problem. Oh no, okay. He's not a bad issue. He's a problem that you need to be ready to solve for.
Yeah.
And apparently he's gonna be in every fucking game I play with this guy, so I gotta figure out how to handle him. I have
Yeah,
options.
yeah.
I have options.
See, that's one thing I do not have a lot in any of my lists is the ability to hit anything that's ethereal. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different stuff out there with like flaming attacks, and I'm sure there's stuff in this book, but it's none of the models I have. So I have no idea how I would actually
Right.
contend with that.
I say,
So
well, this
outside of like regular ass static combat res,
well, you
that's
might be able to. You have enough bodies, you might win that static combat res still.
Mhm.
But Seaguard give me an option. I have other options in the list too for it just naturally, but also to round out my core, I have Valerian Reavers. Like I said, 5 of them, skirmish. They're just fun. Special unit for 1,000 points. I have Sword Masters of Hoeth. They're another good option because their attacks are naturally magical.
Mhm.
So, just full command, nothing special here. And then rare units, my Sisters of Avalorn. Um, just basic. Their shots are magical, I believe. I need to double check that. I believe they are by their bows of Avalorn.
Yeah, they have like arrows of Isha. Ooh,
Yeah,
Isha,
yeah.
Isha.
Maybe it's under airs as well. But also, I mean, they are. I can give them ambusher. I can make them stubborn. They're skirmish, so just something fun. I love them.
Mhm.
But next up, let's talk some 2K here while we're deep into it. So Neil, you got a 2K Night Goblin list here. You're so into the Night Goblins. Like, does no one like
I
orcs
do.
anymore? Are they just an Age of Sigmar? Is that where we're at?
Fundamentally, I'm gonna eventually do it. It's just that's when I decided to do this army. That's what pulled me towards it. And
Okay.
so, but no, we'll eventually have some pig suey going on. We'll have some black orcs. I just feel like you know me, like I can't run the obvious thing. So it's just like the obvious thing is to have a giant block of black orcs, right? Because they're
Absolutely.
good, they're really
Yeah.
good, right? So I have to be like, well, let's see if there's a different way I can do it, right? And then just like that's the harder way to play, and then I lose. So that's that actually that actually tells you the story quite a bit with
Wait,
me and
when
Warhammer.
that
But
that Arcane Journal and they do that release, Arcane Journal comes out and there's a box with all the orcs. We'll just pick that up for you and you'll be good to go.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully, I hope to have my printing services back up on online within the next couple weeks.
Awesome.
So hopefully,
All right. Well,
so
anyway, so
um,
I mean, a lot of this is probably gonna be built upon your 1,000 point list. So in the
it
characters,
it
has anything changed in your characters other than maybe level 4 wizards instead of level 3?
Yeah, so now the Night Goblin War Boss is on a giant cave squig
Okay.
over here.
All right. There we go.
Right. So he is meant to kind of be running around kind of separate.
Hmm.
You're going to see a couple units of squig hoppers, and so he'll be kind of bumming around with them a little
Nice.
bit. So
Are they
you get a goblin
skirmish?
big buff. They are skirmish,
Okay.
yes. The
Perfect. Okay.
Squig Hoppers are skirmish. They also have impact hits, which is really nice, coming in a
Ooh.
strength 5. So, one thing I try to put into a lot of these units, um, and let's see which, yeah, this is the pretty much just the Night Goblin one. But I do have another list that is kind of orc heavy as well. And in that, well, not orc heavy, but you got a unit of the black orcs and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
what I like to try and do is trying to shove in as many impact hits as I possibly can into into one army.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
uh, so I mean, we're talking chariots, we're talking mangler squids, we're talking squig hoppers, all kinds of shit like that.
Yep.
And so the other thing that's nice about squig hoppers and squigs in general is they are almost always, except for the guy in the cave squig doesn't get this rule. I'll have to look into that. They are immune to psychology. So shoot them all
Okay.
you like,
You
but
don't
you
care.
better
Yep.
kill them because they don't care otherwise. So they're coming in one way or the other. Now they're a 3d6 random move, but still that 3d6, that could be a pretty beefy charge
Sure
if
can.
you roll it right.
Yep.
Um, so it'll probably take some finesse to play this army, but that is generally the gist with this. Is that we've got, well, I'm not going to go to the core first. We've got two giant blocks of night goblins with spears. They've got
Oh,
netters.
40 Night Goblin unit and a 42 Night Goblin unit.
Right. And
Whew.
they're going to be sitting right next to each other, moving on up. So, again, they are meant to have a lot of static combat res.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be hopefully bolstered by the wizard that's in there. I believe in this one. What's he? He's level
He's
4
level
on
4.
foot.
Yep.
Yep. So that level 4 wizard would probably be sitting right between those two units, hopefully giving them out all the buffs and all that fun stuff. Now we'll have uh, the guy with the standard bear. He's going to be in one of those and hopefully giving the re-rolls out and
Yep.
around him as
That's fair. That's
well.
fair.
So, now, usually, I don't know that if I put fungus wine into there. Oh no, he's got fungus wine in this
Okay.
one. So
Perfect.
again, now they got another at least one unit once per game can have the immune to immune to psychology. So,
Nice.
um, and then we go to the squig herds. So I
Mm-hmm.
have a unit. I got a little beefy with this. This is an 18 Night Goblin squig herd.
Yep. It's pretty beefy.
So no, these are squig herd. I'm sorry. Yeah, 18 squig herd. That's not too bad. But again, they're immune to psychology. They're coming in. If they do get a charge off, they're open order. They can give that 90-degree turn. So they're going to charge a lot of times where they want to charge if they can do it.
Yep.
Uh, it's definitely a unit that you would want to charge, I think, before it charges you
And they're
because it
still
is
gonna
open
they're gonna
order.
blow up on you anyway. So like you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
you charged
but if
me,
they
fine.
blow up when they're next to all my stuff, then that's
Oh,
better for you.
that's true. That's true. It can hurt you too.
But again, we're taking off maybe 3 or 4 night goblins, whereas you're probably taking off more than that.
Yeah.
Things that are more valuable. So so those are out there. That 18 night goblin squig herd is 189 points. It's a pretty beefy unit for a night goblin unit.
Sure is.
So um, the other thing I tried to do with this list as well is how do you win games of Warhammer Fantasy?
You kill victory points. Kill
Kill
stuff.
things,
Yeah.
right? So I tried to make things semi hard to kill.
That's fair. That makes
for
sense.
Night Goblin,
Love it.
right? So that's why I built the two big blocks of the Night Goblins. Make you actually have to do some work at it to try and get them out of there. And then even if you do kill it, you're looking at 230 points for
It's
having to put a
it's
lot of effort into it.
it's hard to ignore. If I'm honest, I would look at those and I would try to ignore them and kill everything else in your army.
Right, right.
But
So
it's a lot of it with the new base sizes. That's hard to ignore that size of a impact on the board.
right, it's marching up. It's marching towards you.
Yep,
So maybe not marching. I don't want to lose my combat rest.
that's true. Yeah.
But who knows? So maybe we can get one march in there. But so after that, we've got 6 Goblin Wolf Riders. Now
Yeah.
I love this unit because they got short bows. They also have feigned flight, and they also have the reserve move.
Hmm.
So they're going to be right up in your face and screening stuff out, taking pot shots. I like that. Like if you've got a unit of Dragon Princes hanging around,
Oh no,
they're going
yeah.
straight for
I
them,
have
baby.
five
They're
Dragon
going
Princes, and you're gonna guess what? I don't think they're in my 2,000 point list.
Well, they're going straight for something like that.
Yeah.
Anything with a 3+ save, I love these guys against because they've got short bows, which are, they don't take that move and fire penalty. They're going to get right up in your face, hopefully shoot you at short range or something like that, or at least, I don't know,
Flee when
maybe
you
not
have to
short range.
charge them. It's
Yeah,
awful.
they're
Yeah.
going to flee when you have to charge, and then you still got to roll a 3+ on this dinky little goblin bow.
Yep.
And if that's a 33% chance of me taking out a 26-point Dragon Prince model,
Yep.
I'm going to take that every time, So,
Yep. That's pretty good.
so and this whole unit costs, let's see, what do we
78
got for that?
points.
78 points, right?
Yep.
So, I don't know. I think the utility of having that everything that they can do with the feigned flight and all that is
Do they have
and
fire
as a
and
screener,
they have fire and flee? I missed that.
I believe I mean feigned
No, I
flight.
don't. I don't see it. I don't see it. But they have a reserve move, so they have extra
They
moves.
have
So that's good.
yep. So but yeah, so they have yeah, so that's them. You
And
got the
then
squig
another unit
herd,
of 18 squig herds.
right? So they're coming up. They're going to hopefully kind of border the two big units of this is my thought anyway right now. Border the two big units of the Night Goblins, so kind of protecting their flank and also giving you something to think about over there.
Yep.
Then we move into special. Now we got our squig hoppers.
Yep.
All right, so we
10
got
of those. 10 of those.
10 squig hoppers coming through. We got two goblin bolt throwers. There they are again.
Can't complain about
We've
those.
got 5 orc boar.
There's some orcs. We got the orcs. We found them.
We got some orcs in there. We found them, right? Those things, the gore gruntas are awesome on the charge.
Yep.
They've got counter charge, which is great. Close order. They are impetuous, so that would be a problem.
It's
but-
fine. I think impetuous is just going to be a thing you learn to play around.
right.
That's going to be like, to be fair, that's going to be a skill issue.
And the plan is I'm planning on screening them off too. I
Yeah.
mean a little bit, but
I mean,
you would have to go attack my screen with something that
It's-
sucks.
the thing is too, it's like it's 120 points. They're still pretty good. It seems like if
Mhm.
they charge something, they're going to do work regardless.
They will.
That's the same.
Yep.
That's where I'm at with my Dragon Princess. If they
Mhm.
charge something and get in combat with it, they're going to do work. Maybe it's not the best
Mhm.
work, but they'll do work. I'm not concerned
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, and I love the ability to go in and do the let's say you clear off and shooting those wolf riders, whatever, and you charge into the boar boys. Well, they get that counter charge back, and then we see what
Yep.
happens. So,
Absolutely.
yep.
That seems like a
so then we
solid list. Yeah.
Yeah, we moved down to rare units. We got Doom Diver. We got now we do have the 2 legal Mangler Squids.
There we are.
And we got another Doom Diver. So now we got
Two
some War Machines
2 stone
firing.
throwers, some monsters. Tell you what, it always seems like a lot. It's a scary list. I feel
I don't know.
like
I don't know.
I don't mind
so if
facing
you
it,
have-
but
Well, the thing is I've got these War Machines. They are cheap, but they're also easily killable. So if you've got something that can ambush, if you've got something like the Green Knight who can just pop up and just start cleaning up War Machines left and right. I mean,
your
that's
backfield can be
something I
destroyed
can't
quickly.
stop.
Yeah.
It's so you just have to accept that, and I feel like make the move. Shoot them while you can shoot them, and then and just move on. If they're taking out 45-point units of War Machines
And
here and there.
to be fair,
you give those points up.
toughness is only 5, so other War Machines might be able to shoot them off quite easily if they feel like it, or even archers. So
yep. And again, I would rather you be shooting that than any of the other stuff.
absolutely.
So at the cost anyway. Now,
Yeah.
if the Doom Divers being 95, don't really want to lose those. But I don't know. I think the bolt throwers probably do more work anyway,
I
realistically. So
I think so, but still, hey,
you
Doom
know,
Divers are fun. No one complains about them.
yeah. I mean, they're like you talked about the Banner of Illyrian there, and how it's just like the imagery of firing a goblin with some flappy wings into the air, and it like furiously trying to adjust its course so that it can plummet to its doom in the spot where it wants to be.
Yeah.
It is hilarious to me. I can't even stand it. It has to be in my list. I love
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So
As many as you can get. I love it.
yeah,
All right. That's
that's
a
it for
solid
me.
list. I look forward to playing
Mm.
it here in about a month's time. So
Well, it's a 2,000 points list, so I don't know if you'll be playing that one. So,
I'll have 2,000 points, won't you?
well, we're 1,500 points at
No, that's been
the
lifted.
it has.
It's a gaming weekend. Just bring whatever you want. You and
Oh,
your opponent decide what you play.
well, damn it! Now I got a lot more to paint. Okay.
Good. All right. Anyway, High Elves 2K. Let's go. Starting out, and much like Neil's, this is going to be a expansion on my 1K list. So start off that Archmage. Make him a level 4 now. High magic. Um, got rid since he's level 4. I decided to get rid of the Earthing because I'm taking Lore Familiar, so I can choose my spells. Because that way I'm going to cast spells only as needed.
Mhm.
And also give a Seed of Rebirth. So if I die, I get a chance coming back.
Mm.
Um, I would like to get the Earthing Rocket in there, and I could probably figure that out, but in this list, I just did not yet. I also have my Noble, uh, Banner of Valyrian. Once again, it goes in the Seaguard unit with Seaguard. Um, was it Armor of Calidor? So I'll have essentially, which I think it's either full plate or heavy armor. I think it's a full plate, and a ward save. So it's in a shield, Banner of or Bow of Avalorn, Banner of Valyrian, pretty much the same build, just more defensive. I have a second mage, level 2, on an Elven Steed, which is the one you saw. Gave them a Dispel Scroll. Also gave them Pure Heart just for fun. Their goal is probably to run around either with a Larian skirmish unit or just on their own and do their thing. Might
Mhm.
probably take battle magic with them. I'm still trying to. I'm taking high magic right now out of convenience and easy, but
Mhm.
I need to like explore the magic a little bit more to see how
Yeah.
to be more effective.
Yeah.
Then after that, I take the Handmaiden of the Everqueen, which is my favorite choice, and that was my fun little kit bash. They said I check it out on my Twitter and Instagram, but there she is. Because I didn't want to rebase my original one, and good luck buying that original one anymore ever unless it's a recast from Russia, and I'm not ordering anything from Russia in the current state of the world because who knows if it'll show up. So I kit bashed it out of bits I had, which was pretty fun. It was good exercise. As usual for her, every list I give her with, she has uh, the Horn of Isha, which is her special item only she can take, which gives her like I think either plus one. I think it's plus one to wound for her and the unit she's in within a round of combat, and she also has the Reaver Bow, which is extra multi-shot based upon her attack profile. It's good, it's solid, whatever. And the Arrows of Aisha is a special rule, so it does affect that bow. So extra shots does good work. Um, they're also skirmish for when we get to the sisters, but she'll be in there with them. For the core, 14 Sea Guard. So I lost the Sea Guard. That's because I have 2 units of Larian Reavers now, and 10 Elven Archers so far. Um, just because there's probably going to be a hill somewhere, I'll put them up there. If not, I'll put them in the line. 10 Archers just to shoot shots 30-inch range. Reavers to do their thing, and Sea Guard just to kind of be that block to move forward, bunker my banner bearer, and all that sort of stuff. Um, Let me move on to the special after that. 15 Sword Masters of Hoeth. And the Reavers still have their burning bow or burning banner and all that sort of stuff. Swordmasters of Hoeth, 15, but also 15 White Lions. I just
Mm.
they're open order for the White Lions, and it's very much that dichotomy. Like the Swordmasters are going to strike first, they're going to do lots of attacks, do good jobs, whereas the White Lions won't get as many attacks, but their attacks are going to be much more quality because they're just going to like
Yeah.
run through you. I don't have any Phoenix Guard yet for this army. I do have Phoenix Guard, obviously, but not for this army because it's really hard to choose. You kind of have to pick your favorite two, and these are my favorite two. Um,
Yeah.
this is what I went with. And then for my rare, Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, just sitting back and shoot, and 15 Sisters of Avalorn because, like I said, they're stubborn. I can ambush them if I feel like it.
They're my favorite, man.
I
They're
mean,
so good.
yeah, they're getting rerolls. It's just
Hmm.
they're just so good. And here's the thing that I always forget about them. So they're was it not quick? Is it quick to fire? I forget it was. It's I think it's on the bows of Avalorn, but they can shoot even if you're within the charge range, the movement. Because like if you're so close you can't stand and shoot. I think they can always stand and shoot. They're
Hmm.
gonna do quality work with that, and then they have strike first.
Yeah.
They're one of the few units that have strike first. It's like, okay, go ahead, charge me. I don't care. I'm going to kill you. And if for some
Yeah.
reason you kill me, I'm stubborn.
Oh yeah. If
I
I'm playing that, they are getting doom divered all day long.
mhm.
I'm shooting the hell out of that unit because there's no way. Like the goblins, I mean, you'd have to go in with a expecting to just get mowed down
Yeah,
in both on the way in and once you touch them.
I've played
So
with multiple versions of this. Like I have 20 of them. Running 20 as a skirmish unit is asinine.
wow.
It like you just lose shots still. It's not the best. So I was thinking like, okay, I could do 2 units of 10. If I could do that, then the effectiveness with the sister with her Horn of Aisha drops, so I have to drop that item. Then I get more points to throw into the Swordmasters or White Lions or the um, Sea Guard, whatever I feel like. So there's play within this list to massage it out to what I want. Like I said, and I have Dragon Princess sitting here that I'm not even fucking using. Like I want to,
Yeah.
but haven't yet. But yeah, that's
No chariots, huh?
not yet. Okay, and I've said this before. When I built this list, I thought about like, okay, this is elves coming from Uthwan, going to the old world. What would they naturally take for their first expedition over? I can't see a lot of chariots going over. Chariots would be hard to transport on a ship, as opposed to just a bunch
Okay.
of people. The reason I allow the Illyrian Reavers is because my army's from Illyrian, they would naturally have themselves. I could see Dragon Princes just being annoying enough to be like, "We're coming anyway." Like they're impetuous.
Yeah.
Like I said, and like so all that fit the narrative. And then my one fun choice was the sisters and the hand and with the handmaiden. So I tried to be
Yeah.
narrative with allow myself with one weird choice, which was the sisters. So
Yeah.
eventually, I do plan to bring a dragon in, bring in some chariots, add that in, but like I don't need to rush it. I have enough here. I could do a 2,400 point list if I felt like it, or even 2,500. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't need to, and I would rather learn how to play this over and over and over again to get good at it. So when I do add something fun and maybe more useful, it only helps,
Mhm.
doesn't hinder.
Gotcha. Because that those lion chariots, baby, those look like they might do some work.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, actually, I mean, to be fair, I'm going to base this army the same. I think
Mhm.
those chariots are still on the same basis, so I could actually use the old ones I have.
Cop out.
It's the
Jeez.
same base size. Go fuck yourself.
uh, gotta
Anyway,
buy a new one. Gotta buy a new
I'm
one.
not saying I won't. I'm just saying I don't have to right now.
Uh,
Anyway,
well,
that's
anyway, with all this taunting, you'll enjoy beating the shit out of me whenever we eventually play.
or you'll win, and I'll just be like, fuck. I gotta go back on the podcast. Like Neil's suddenly gone because he beat me thoroughly. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't see that happening. Not with all your experience of playing this game. So,
I've not won. I've won one game so far. Not doing the
all
best.
right, I've
Of
played
course,
none. So,
of course, elves and 1,000 points kind of sucks. If I'm honest, at
mhm.
least with the
Yeah,
stuff I have.
that's got
But
to be real hard to put stuff into. I can't even imagine. Yeah.
yeah, because I'm probably playing too much and playing it wrong. But anyway, that's that's it. So we promised the show a couple times ago. So here we go.
Mhm.
Old World Chat. This is our list ideas right now. We
Yep.
will report back with how this goes sometime at the end of March.
Mhm.
But I hope
Yeah.
everybody's enjoyed it. Neil, any
Maybe
closing
someday.
thoughts?
Well, hopefully, maybe someday once we get these all painted up too, for one of our hobby times, what we can do is just kind of go unit by unit, kind of show off our armies, and
Well, I do
uh,
I do plan for this army, my High Elf army, doing an army diary like I did with my cities. So there'll be a
Nice.
painting diary for mine.
Perfect. All right.
Uh,
That's it for me.
okay, that's good. Just as a heads up, next week, since I will be at the Arnold, unless for some reason Neil and I decide to record really early next week, which I can't promise. There might not be an episode next week. But the
Unless
what's
I
that?
find myself randomly down in Columbus at a crew game, who knows?
Absolutely. Well, there will be. I will, since this is Strength Hammer and I can talk fitness and Warhammer because that's what I do. I will be doing a travel vlog of going to the Arnold, so you'll see that
Nice.
probably before the next podcast episode, unless we record early next week. But you'll see that. But that's a
You need to get a
promise.
picture with Arnold.
I'm
You
gonna
got
try
the
my best. I want to so bad.
Yeah, yeah.
It
It'd
might
be
be like one of
amazing.
those where like it's me with a selfie and he's like back there somewhere,
Yeah,
like he's there, but like we're in the
yeah.
same picture.
You can
Um,
Photoshop.
I could Photoshop it. No,
Nice.
but yeah. So there may or may not be an episode next week. If there's not gonna be an episode next week, I'll try to do just another old world one. Maybe I'll do like the talk about dwarves and what's going on with the dwarves in the current old world setting, like I did for the high elves. Uh, yeah, it'll be fun. But I hope everybody enjoyed this. Let us know below, like what, and like post your lists. Like I want to see them. Like I don't know if there's character
Yeah,
limit, but like let us
yeah.
know.
Let us know yeah. Obviously, I had a Mangler Squig issue there, but let us know if there's anything you see in our list is like, hey, idiot, you
Oh yeah,
can't
yeah.
do that.
Something's wrong.
I'd
Let us
love to know
know.
that. Please let us know because
Yeah,
I'm not trying
or
to cheat. I'm just ignorant. So,
let us know what type of list you're running right now, because that'd be fun to see. But
Mhm.
yeah, till next time, everybody. Whether it's next week or the week after. Happy hobbying and stay Stormcast strong.